Hi there, and welcome to the Dokeys crochet tutorial to create your very own stingray. My name's Haley, and I'm so excited to crochet with you today. Before we get started, the basic stitches you'll need to know for our adorable stingray are a single crochet, increase, decrease, half double crochet, and a treble crochet. You will also need to know how to go into the back and front loops only of a project. If you're new to any of this, feel free to watch the video tutorials on this page or find them on the tutorials page of our website. All right, the materials you will need to do this one are the two colors of our chunky chenille yarn. You will also get the safety eyes and the stuffing inside. You will need a crochet hook, stitch marker, a yarn needle, and additionally, you will need a pair of scissors. All right, feel free to rewind and rewatch the video or pause as many times as you would like. And if you need to make any adjustments to your stingray, feel free to do so. All right, let's get started. All right, we're gonna go ahead and grab your Midnight Magic navy blue yarn to go ahead and start. And the way I'm going to start this, we're going to start this round one with a magic ring alternative. So we're going to go ahead, and I like to hold the yarn tail in my non-dominant hand and then wrap it to create like an X around my first two fingers. And then the working yarn is going to go back. Grab your crochet hook, and you're gonna go under this first spot right here, grab the working yarn, pull it through, and twist your hook. Grab the working yarn again, and pull up a loop. Now holding your finger on the yarn on the hook, gently release your fingers and pull on that yarn tail just lightly. And now you've made a slip knot and a chain one. And we're going to chain a second one. And then in that very first chain from the hook, we're going to do 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3. All right, so once we have our magic ring alternative with 3 single crochets in it, we are going to do 11 rounds of just 3 single crochets. So the way I like to do this, because it's kind of hard to make sure, because you can't, it's so small, it's really hard to flip. So you have to try and make it flip right now. And then I also don't use a stitch marker because you really can't get you can't get the stitch marker in and out that easily. So I just like to count. But we'll go through it nice and slow. So for round number 2, we're just doing 3 single crochets. So I like to just kind of obviously do the first one to kind of connect and finish off that magic ring alternative. And then I just make sure that as I'm going with the first few rounds, that I'm just pushing it to be the right way out. So making sure that we flip it like as soon as we can and just force it the right way. All right, so that's round 2. Round 3, again, 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then round 4, 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then round 5, 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, round 6, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 7, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 8, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 9, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 10, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 11, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 12, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, round 13, 3 single crochets, so 1, 2, 3. All right, so now you should have just a little spot right here. And then round 14, we're just doing 3 increases. So 1, 2, 3, and then round 15, we're just doing 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then round 16, 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Round 17 is 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and round 18, 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, round 19. I'm going to place a stitch marker for this one just because we're going to start getting a lot bigger now. So that stitch marker placed. So round 19, we're doing a single crochet and then an increase, and we're repeating that 3 times. So single, increase, single, increase, single, increase. Whoops. All right, round 20, we're doing 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move that stitch marker. And then round 21, we're doing the same thing, 9 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Move that stitch marker. All right, and then for round 22, we're doing 2 single crochets and an increase, repeating it 3 times. So 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. Move the stitch marker. All right, round 23, we're going in the back loops only, and we're just doing 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Move the stitch marker up. Now rounds 24 through 37, we're just doing single crochets around. So you should have 12 single crochets each round. So for 24, 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Just again, repeat that all the way until you're done with round 37. So round 25, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I'm gonna just take the stitch marker out and I'm just gonna count all the way through it, but if you guys need to keep the stitch marker in, you totally can, but since I'm counting for you guys, I'm just gonna count instead. So around 26, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 27, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 28, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 29, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 30, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, round 31, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, oh, wait, 15, 14, 13, sorry, my bad, I just got distracted. 32, 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 33, 12 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 34, 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 35, 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, round 36, 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, and then I'm gonna stuff it right now just to get it started. So grab some stuff, and then you're really just having to go kind of slow with this because it's very skinny, but you just kind of have to push it all in from the top and just push and move it down. So you won't really have a ton of stuffing in this back tail part. You can try and get a little into this right here, right below those back loops, but it can be kind of tricky to get it down that far. So I usually just leave it unstuffed and it's fine, but all right. And this is the only part of the Stingray we're stuffing, so make sure that you like how much stuffing is in there. All right, and then to finish off, you're just gonna squeeze it shut and you're doing 6 single crochets across the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoops, 6. Go ahead and cut it off. You don't need to leave a yarn, really a big yarn tail. I just leave a little just so it doesn't come undone. And there you have the first part of the Stingray. Right, now to do the wings of the Stingray, what we're doing is we're gonna attach our yarn. So we're gonna grab our new yarn and we're attaching it to the front loops that we left unfinished from round 23, unworked, I guess, technically. And we're just gonna be creating the blue wing on its own. You're gonna flip it over, attach the white yarn to the other side, create the white wing on its own, and then we're gonna single crochet around the edges with the white, and that's what's gonna create our little Stingray wings. So let's get started. Don't worry, we'll walk you through it all. So when you're holding the body of our Stingray, obviously you want this part. This is gonna be the top where the eyes sit up here. So you can kind of see I have 4 single crochets on this front, and then we're gonna go 1 on each side. So find those 4 front middle ones, and then you're gonna stick your crochet hook in that one on the side. And we're gonna grab the working blue yarn and we're just gonna pull it through that loop to create a loop. Now, if you want to, you can just start going like this, but I personally like to tie a knot first, just for security. So I'm just gonna pull the yarn tail through and just tie it in a knot. And we don't have to worry about cutting off yarn tails because it's gonna go inside the wings anyways, or the fins anyways. So then, obviously you're stuck without a loop, so insert your hook back into that front loop and then twist and pull up a loop with the working yarn. Now you're ready to get started with the first round of the fins. So we're gonna start by doing an increase. So we're gonna go into that next, just those front loops that we already worked. We're gonna start with an increase. And then we're gonna do 4 single crochets, again, in those front loops. 1, 2, 3, and then the front loop down here, 4, and then an increase to finish it off. So your increases should be on the like kind of lined up with that side, because that's going to be the 2 edges. So, okay. And then at the end of every single round, every single row we do, we are always going to chain 1. And that's just going to kind of help make a cleaner edge. So now to go back across it this way, we're going to flip the whole piece, and that you're going to do that the whole time. So now for technically row 2 of the wings, I'm going to start with an increase. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then end it off with an increase. It's kind of hard to do it on this very first one just because it's tight from where we attached it. So just do your best, but increase. And remember, chain 1 and flip. And that's gonna be the base for the entire thing. Is each end is gonna have an increase, and then you're just single crocheting in the middle. So it's really easy if you forget what row you're on. You just have to count the single crochets and match it with the pattern, and you can figure out which row you're on. So then row 3, again, start with an increase. And then 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then finish it off with an increase. Remember, chain 1 and turn. Okay, round 4, we're doing again an increase to start. And then 10 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and finish the round with an increase, chain 1, and turn. And that's literally what you're going to be doing the entire time until we're literally going to go the whole length of this just with the same exact pattern. All right. So again, round 5, we're starting with an increase. And then 12 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, increase, chain 1, and turn. Okay, row 6, start with an increase, 14 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 'Increase, chain, and 12 flip. Okay, 8 is going to be 16 or increase to start. And then 16 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, increase, chain 1, and turn. Okay, sorry, I said the wrong number last time. This is round number 8. And we're going to start with an increase. And then 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and an increase, chain 1, and turn. Okay, number 9, start with an increase, 20 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, finish with an increase, chain 1, and turn. All right, number 10, start with an increase, and then 22 single crochets, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and increase, chain 1, turn. Okay, 11, again, start with an increase, and then 24 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, finish with an increase, chain 1, and turn. Okay, 12 is going to be another increase to start, and then 26 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, end with an increase, chain 1, and whoops, and turn. All right. $13 is going to be an increase to start, and then 28 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, increase, chain 1, and turn. All right, this round is where we start to implement the half double crochet, double crochet, and treble crochets. So if you need a refresher on how to do any of those stitches, I will be doing it briefly, like kind of explaining how to do it, but if you want an in-depth tutorial, now is the time to go watch it before we start getting into all of those stitches. Okay, so to start row 14, I'm going to start with an increase. And then we're going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to do 4 half double crochets. So for a half double crochet, you're going to yarn over 1 time, insert your hook, pull up a loop. So you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's a half double crochet. So do 3 more of those. 3, 4, okay. And then we're gonna do 4 double crochets. So double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, do that 3 more times. 3, 4. All right, next up we have 4 treble crochets. So for a treble crochet, we're going to yarn over twice, insert our hook, pull up a loop. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 3 more of those. 2, 3, 4. All right, and then now we're just going to go back to double crochets, 4 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finish off this row with an increase. Chain 1 and turn. All right, and this is going to be our very last row for the blue fin. We're going to start with 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and then 4 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 half double crochets, 2, 3, 4, 7 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, leave a small yarn tail. And now you are done with the blue yarn. So then what I like to do is just take it and stretch it all the way up to where it's supposed to be, and take a yarn needle and pull it through both the body and the wing. That way it just stays in place while we do the white one. So we're gonna flip this whole thing over. Oops, got some stuff coming out. And we're gonna start the white one. Now when you're doing the white one, it's the exact same as the blue one. You're literally doing the exact same pattern. So I'm not gonna go as in depth with it. So if you wanna watch it in a little more detail with me going through exactly how I did just on the blue one, go watch the blue part back. This one I'm gonna kind of cruise through a little faster just because it is literally the exact same thing. But I'll show you how to attach the white yarn first. So for attaching it, I'm gonna attach it to the same front loop that our blue is hooked into right here. And you're attaching it in the exact same way you hooked the blue on. So tying a little knot, tuck that white yarn tail, and then pull up the first loop. And then remember to start it. We're just gonna start with an increase, 4 single crochets in those front loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that increase is gonna be in the same, that last increase is going to be in the same front loop that we attached the blue to the first time. So on either side, the white should be attached to the same front loop as a blue one. Remember to chain 1 at the end of each one, rotate, and now we're just going to start the exact same pattern as we did for the blue. All right. So I'll still be kind of going through everything that I'm doing, just not in nearly as much detail. So just know that. All right. Increase. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase. Remember to chain 1 at the end every time before flipping. Okay, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, increase, chain one, turn, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, increase, chain one, turn, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, increase, chain one, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, increase, chain one, oops, turn, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, increase, chain one, and turn. Increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, increase, chain one, turn, increase, one, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, increase, chain 1, turn, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, increase, chain 1, turn, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, increase, chain 1, turn, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, increase, chain 1, turn, increase, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, increase, chain 1, turn, increase, 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, chain 1 and turn. Okay, last row, 7 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 treble crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, finish off with a slip stitch. Leave a small yarn tail And now you've got both of the sides of the fins done. We are going to start sewing them on. So the same way that I did with the other one, I just like to do this, help keep them together, because first we've got to put the eyes on. So the eyes can be kind of tricky because right where we want to put the eyes, I'm just going to move this down a little so we can put the eyes, is all of our treble crochets, and the space in between is big enough for the eyes to fit through. So what you need to do is make sure that you are going directly into the treble crochet. So put it into the stitch, not in the holes next to it, right into the treble crochet. And then stick the back on. Maybe. There we go. And you can kind of put them wherever you want to. There's not like a right or a wrong place for them. It's just kind of wherever you feel like putting them. Just as long as they're going right into those treble crochets or double crochets if you're putting them a little further apart. But just make sure that they're in the stitch so that they don't fall out. Okay. Now we're going to start with single crocheting around the edge. So I like to flip it over so that I have the belly facing up, because we're going to start, actually, nope, we want the belly facing down. We want to be pulling the white up through the blue. So we want the his back facing up. Okay. And then we're going to start, we just need to reattach the white yarn. So again, just kind of go in that same spot that we've been attaching all the yarn for, just to give it the cleanest look. Again, tie its little knot and then tuck the yarn tail in. Okay, pull up that starting loop. And then you're just going to single crochet the sides shut. So there's not really a specific number, but whoops. Again, you want to make sure that the white is pulling up through, because we want to see it. That's what's going to give it that edge. So you want to, when you're single crocheting this shut, belly faces down. And I just kind of try and do one in like every row. You can kind of tell where the end of each row is. And I just kind of like to stick one at the end of each row for the sides. And we're not adding any stuffing to this guy. So definitely make sure you're going through both the white and the blue, keeping those yarn tails from all of our pieces tucked in. If you need to use more needles or stitch markers to hold your edges together, you can do that as well. I just have the yarn needles holding it in the center, but you can do as many as you want to. So I like to make sure my yarn tails are like very much tucked in when I'm doing this. And then when you're going around along the top, it's a little bit easier because we have those loops on the top from where we did single crochets and half double crochets and double crochets and treble crochets. So it's a little easier to go through the top just because there's a specific spot where you should go. So going. Again, keeping all yarn tails tucked inside. It's definitely what's nice about this piece is you don't have to worry about like weaving in yarn tails or anything because they all are just gonna get tucked onto the inside of the stingray. So super nice. And then make sure you don't forget if you have any needles in or anything, take them out. Just because you don't want to lose it in there. Okay, and then as you start getting to the spot where you have the middle part of the body coming into play, you're gonna have to go through all 3 layers. Through the top fin, the middle, and the belly fin. So it can be a little tricky, but you have to go through them all to secure them all in place. And then again, you should be doing just about 6 single crochets through them both because that's the width of the middle, so it's not too bad. Right. The corners definitely get a little tricky as you're switching from those single crochets to the rows, but just do your best. Okay, and then make sure you go all the way down. And then I like to finish off with a slip stitch, but you can finish off with a single crochet or whatever. Okay, cut it off. And then I just take the yarn tail and just tuck it in to the body. Just kind of start pulling it through. At least a good chunk of it, just to keep it secured in there. Okay. Once that's done, your stingray is all complete. Got his little fins right here, little tail. Alright, thank you so much for watching the Dokeys crochet tutorial for our adorable stingray. I would love to see your guys' creations, so if you post them on social media, please tag us at Dokeys crochet so we can see.